Okay, highlights from, what is it, April 4th here. I got to show you a couple charts that I did call, and then I want to show you one that I was projecting to the room. It almost seems like if you trade every day, and I do, and we all do in our chat room, it almost seems like every day at the end of the day, you always have that, hey, what was my blunder today, or what was my big miss today? And man, I've got a great example of one today that I'll show you. But let me talk about my calls real quick. THLD on the daily, I like the fact that it had finally sold off fairly hard, so I put it on Bounce Watch. And as I tell our members, I don't even care if it gaps down. The beauty of a bounce play is doesn't matter what the price is. You're already down big a couple days, so a gap down doesn't dissuade me from taking the trade. What I do look for is a narrow range in the early going and then a break of that early range, because they might pile in with it being oversold like that, and actually was extremely strong before the sell-off. Okay, so you might get a little short covering, and you can see what happened here. When it started to come up, I actually called it at 709. Before it broke the high of the day, I said, or you could just wait and take 711, which would be a new high of day break. And from there, went to 740. I mean, that's not a bad move percentage-wise. And then just as the day did, and if you traded today, a lot of stuff just chopped around. But that was about a dime risk and about a 30-cent move. Not too bad on a $7 stock. DANG also had on watch, because take today's candle out of it, because it had broken out on big volume, then put in a narrow inside day. Okay, so it goes on long watch this morning. Now, I'd love to tell you I got in right off the bat, but I didn't. I mean, I always got to watch the market unfold. So what happened was DANG just ripped, and I never got a hold of it. But then on this pullback, as it's coming down near the to the rising 20, ended up calling DANG at 895 on the way back up right there. 895 and a stop below these recent lows at 884. So 11 cents risk on DANG, and it moved up to actually 934. So again, not horrible. And then a couple flat trades in MCP and General Motors, and then I'm going to show you the one that man, did just a big blunder on my part. All right, GILD. Talk about the reasons for the call too. Whenever I have something that's selling off like this, if you've watched any of our videos, you know I love intraday bottom feeding. So when you have something that's selling off like this and then starts to really go, okay, see these 5-minute candles in this circle here, and then see this one. Okay, so you're already selling off, and now you get this long 5. Typically the way I'll play that as a bottom feeding idea is, because you're already selling, volume's accelerating, and then you get a long 5. You don't want to try to play this off of 5s. In other words, you don't want to wait till it breaks a previous 5-minute candle's high. So what I try to do is use kind of an X-ray technique, okay? You get this long 5, already been selling off, I go to 2s. That's sort of my default. Oh, and also, I had determined that, here we go, on 60s, that 46 was fairly relevant on GILD. Okay, I'll show you why here. 46, it had bounced off the 46 area here, nice support here. So you can see that 46 is a pretty good area to look for a bounce, right? Okay, now going back to 2s. Okay, it looked like this. I was expecting what we call a wash and rinse. One of my members actually kind of presented me with the wash and rinse idea, expecting the 46 stops to get taken out. Okay, so usually I'll switch to 2s and look for the first break of a previous 2s high once I'm below that significant support, probably taking out a lot of stops. Okay, and then I think at this same moment, then it just kept going lower. Never did trigger. Remember, I want to break of a 2-minute candle's high, of a previous 2-minute candle's high before I go long. But what happened was, I think the market pushed lower. So I made just a huge mistake. Now, if you trade every day, you know this market's been pretty low volume and not giving a lot of these kind of passionate moves. Like the HFTs take over and you get a lot of choppiness or slow grinds, not a lot of tradable situations, scenarios, if you will. So I'm trying to stay upbeat, but I'm pretty peeved at myself, because this was, when you get an opportunity like GILD handed to you, you've got passion and volume. Okay, it's time to not deviate and look away. When the SPY pushed lower still, and this started to print a red candle, it looked like this, I just said, well, I'm going to put it on hold for a little bit. Okay, and then I went to looking at other stuff, and like a little kid, I got sidetracked and missed this. But look what happens. Okay, we're still looking for the wash and rinse below 46, but now I'm off looking at other things. And remember, A move like this is a gift, okay? In this market, you've got to stick with these, and whatever your entry, whatever your trade style, when you get this kind of move and you have a tradable event, it might not look like GILD does to me here. Your setups that you love might look totally different, okay? But to me, this met our wash and rinse scenario, and the volume, the twos were beautiful, just kept putting lower highs. But now I'm sidetracked and I'm looking at something else. Look what happens when this finally breaks a previous 2-minute candle's high, right here, okay? The long using our wash and rinse strategy would have been 45.76 right here on this green candle, and the stop down below this candle 45.54, so a little over 20 cents. Not bad on a $46 stock, right? And here's the rest of the story. You don't even need to hear me talk. If I do start to talk, I'll switch to fives now. If I do start to talk, I'll probably start to cry. So there is a trading lesson there, though, and that's the only reason I bring it up, not to whine, but just to bring it up. Man, when you have a scenario forming, one of your setups forming in this market, that's a gift. Don't start looking at other stocks, okay? Don't deviate. Don't worry about the SPY. You have a tradable event here. So huge blunder on my part, but a pretty good trading lesson and a pretty good example of a perfect wash and rinse scenario. And I just have to wear the dunce cap for a while every time I see GILD. It'll remind me, and I'll be wearing a proverbial dunce cap in my mind. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. That was it for the day. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.